Hello, everyone, and unless you've been living under a rock, you know that E3 was last week. So, in the spirit of E3, for this week's Top 10 Tuesday, it's going to be my top 10 most anticipated games that were at E3. Number 10, Rare Replay. This is basically most of the great games of my childhood all compiled onto one disc that I can play on my Xbox One. If you didn't see this reveal, they basically just showed lots of different games, but ones that I can highlight: Jet Force Gemini, Perfect Dark, Conker's Bad Fur Day. I saw Cameo, I saw Viva Pinata. There's a whole bunch of them, but essentially this is 30 old games packed into one disc. I don't know if at this point you're going to be able to. I don't know if any of these are going to have online capability. I'm assuming some of the 360 ones with the backwards compatibility on the Xbox One, you may be able to play those online. But it'd be really cool if something like a Conker's Bad Fur Day or Jet Force Gemini would now have online capability. I realize that's probably not going to happen, but it's something to hope for. And the reason this got number 10 is because it's a whole bunch of games that I've already played. But they're not new, but I'm super excited for them. While we're on the topic of rare games, number 9 is a brand new rare IP called Sea of Thieves. Looks to be sort of a piratey, maybe MMO? I don't know. They showed a bunch of people working together. They showed it looked like 3 players trying to force another player to walk the plank. They showed ship-to-ship combat, and I don't know, it just looks interesting. And I know Rare's had some rocky times in the past, but most of their games, their pedigree is solid. Banjo nuts and bolts kind of aside, but yeah, I would love to see how this game is going to play out. It looks like it could be at least 8 players, maybe more online. But again, I'm excited for it. It made this list because I don't really know anything about it, and I'm curious to see what else comes from it. Number 8, Doom. I don't really know if I need to explain it any more than that. Doom plus next gen plus level creator. I mean, but they really made that, along with Fallout, made Bethesda that show just phenomenal. So, I mean, it's Doom. Switching it up, for number 7, we are going to Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. The Mario and Luigi series is a really fun RPG take on Super Mario. I really loved Super Mario RPG, and then to a lesser extent, still a lot, but not as much as that, Paper Mario and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. And I've been really upset that Paper Mario hasn't made a return to its true roots. You had Super Paper Mario on the Wii U, and you had Paper Mario Sticker Star, but there's still like weird quirky mechanics. Just go back to the RPG roots. But the Mario and Luigi series has had that, and this is basically taking Mario and Luigi and throwing Paper Mario in there, and there you go. So this is, I think, the best chance I'm going to get to play a more traditional Paper Mario style game. So that's why I'm excited for this. Number 6, Gears of War 4. You can't really tell, but right there is a Marcus Phoenix statue from Gears of War 3. I love Gears of War. I like the third-person take on shooters. I'm a big fan of most Capcom games and things like that, Lost Planet. But it's nice to see some new stuff in Gears 4, to not be dealing with, it seems anyway, the same type of enemies. It's 2 brand new characters we got to see in the demo trailer. JD and Kate, I believe their names are. And there was this cool, like, electrical storm thing. And then they get it. I mean, it looks like they're wielding. He used a chainsaw. It's basically a lancer. And then he gets attacked by this weird wolf kind of looking creature. It doesn't look like any kind of grub that we've seen in a previous Gears of War game. So again, this is breathing new life into a series that I really like. And we have the potential to not even see any of the other characters, or who knows how this could be. I'm assuming this is in the future after the end of the events of Gears of War 3. So maybe it'll be like Old Man Marcus, and like, you know, he just talks about how great things were back in the, it's not how great things were, but, you know, whatever. But I'm just curious to see where they're going to take Gears of War in the future. So this looks like a good way to go about it, and I know because it's Gears of War, the multiplayer will be great. There'll probably be some new version of Horde mode or something like that. So I look forward to seeing what other stuff they come out with. Number 5, yet another Nintendo game, Fire Emblem Fates. I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan as well, and any new involvement in the series I'm always pumped about, especially because they made a point in an earlier Nintendo Direct to say that for Fire Emblem this go round they're going to actually make you more of the main character rather than in Awakening where kind of Chrom was the main character and Robin was sort of there to go along with him, like a pseudo main character. You are now the main focus of the story, and it has to do with the choices you make between the different sides, and it just looks really good. And we got to see another really beautiful stylized trailer, so I'm Fire Emblem has me hooked, so I'm super excited. Hopefully we'll get some more news on it soon, and more Fire Emblem amiibo that are available. Number 4, Star Wars Battlefront. I loved Battlefront 1 and 2. I love Star Wars, and the trailer that they showed was amazing. I think they did a really good job showing the flip from the Imperial side to the Rebel side to show you, controlling walkers and TIE fighters along with controlling the the speeders and X-Wings and the different troops, and then Luke and Vader, and just it looks great. I have high hopes for this game. It's been, like I said, it's been a long time coming, so hopefully it lives up to the hype, but I guess we'll find out. Number 3 is Mass Effect Andromeda. Unfortunately, we did not get a lot in the trailer, but it seems to be a theme with this list. Mass Effect is another game series that I love. I wish we got some more information, but what I'm more curious about, I think, is what are they doing with the series? How are they taking this from the events of Mass Effect 3, and are they actually going to implement them into the game? Because you had different choices you could make at the end of Mass Effect 3, are they just going to pick one? Are they going to pretend like none of that happened? Will we see any of the characters we saw in Mass Effect, the original trilogy? Again, this is another one of those where I'm really excited for what this could do for the series that I really like. Nervous at the same time, because, they could take things in a bad way and ruin it. But I'm hopeful that BioWare will, do what they always do and make a great game. Number 2 is a brand new series that was unveiled here at E3. Xbox exclusive ReCore. Don't really know too much about it. The trailer looks awesome. Plus, they had me at Robot Dog. I'm a big fan of any kind of futuristic thing like that, and any game where you can have a companion. So I look forward to playing this game. I look forward to see more information about it. Is there going to be a multiplayer? Is this going to be single player story only? And just more to see more about this world and how this whole game came together. So it's nice to have a brand new series on the list here, because pretty much almost everything on here has been a sequel of some kind. And number 1, probably the latest game announcement in all of E3 as far as things that I was pumped about, is the brand new South Park game. If you played South Park Stick of Truth, you're getting into basically a 15-hour South Park game, or South Park episode, but you get to control it. This is the new game. Is called South Park: The Fractured But Whole, and it's essentially you still play as the new kid, and you are now playing not like elves and fantasy. You're playing superheroes, so you're going to be joined by the Coon, Mysterion, Toolshed, and I guess you're going to choose your own superpowers and become your own superhero. And it looks like Professor Chaos is the villain. What I'm really curious to see is, will there be any integration from South Park: The Stick of Truth? Can you, if you have both save files, can you maybe unlock some new stuff? Will there be pre-order things? South Park: The Stick of Truth is a game, again, if you're not a fan of South Park, don't play it. But it was just a game that I played through the whole game, and I was content with it. I got what I expected when I played South Park. Previous South Park games were awful. This one was what I wanted it to be. It was an extended South Park experience. So I look forward to this. It kind of snuck right by. I don't think anybody was expecting for this to come out, and it just there it is. So that's my top 10. I just had a couple of honorable mentions. Rise of the Tomb Raider. I loved the first Tomb Raider game. I'm looking forward to this. It wasn't really announced at E3. We've kind of known that this has been coming out, but we got to see a new trailer. Destiny, the new expansion, The Taken King, I believe. I've been kind of out of the Destiny world for a while, but this trailer for this new expansion, plus 3 new subclasses, one for each class, drew me right back in. So I've been playing Destiny a lot. So this is on my list. Gears Ultimate Edition. Again, I'm a sucker for any rehashing of an HD version of a new game. Borderlands, whatever. You make an HD version of it and I'll buy it. I was really hoping, with the Final Fantasy VII announcement, maybe Nintendo would have been like, hey, how about we make another HD remake of Ocarina of Time? But no luck there. But yeah, Gears of War Ultimate, I got the beta access and I've been playing that. Makes me realize how bad I was at Gears 1. But yeah, that's it. Top 10, a couple honorable mentions. What were your guys' top 10s of E3? I'd like to see what other people thought about. I'm sure a lot of the Sony fans and the Final Fantasy fans out there are freaking out over Final Fantasy VII, especially how many times it's been teased in the past. The only reason that didn't make this list is Final Fantasy never really drew me in. I did play Final Fantasy VII. It's a great game. But I was a Nintendo fanboy growing up, so Ocarina of Time was my jam. But don't get me wrong. You know what? Actually, if there was a sequel to Chrono Trigger, I would have bought a PS4 just for that. But a Final Fantasy remake's not enough for me. But anyway, guys, let me know what your top 10 E3 video games were. And if you have any suggestions for top 10s that you'd like to see me do, just leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you next week.